Hello everyone, welcome to the When It Worked podcast. You're with the host Julian Leahy. Today I'm joined by Richard John in the UK and Alex Yaroslavsky in New York. Welcome to the show, guests.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Wonderful. Oh, got all that out of the way. And let's load up the board and then we'll meet our guests shortly after. The categories today are food and drink, Little Red Riding Hood, all about the nursery rhyme Little Red Riding Hood, which none of us can remember. Rhyme time, these are answers that rhyme. The occult, which is things like astrology and, channeling spirits and all that stuff. West on the map, these are places or names that have West or Western, in front of them. So it could be places or it could be like Western, Best Western Hotel or whatever. Letter perfect. I can't remember what this category is at all. Letter perfect. All right, we're going to find out. All right, let's kick over to Alex on the left. You can kick things off. What would you like?
All right, I'll take food and drink for 100.
Food and drink for 100, says Alex. Some say this brunch dish was created to cure the hangover of a Mr. Samuel Benedict.
Eggs Benedict. What is Eggs Benedict?
Yeah, just holler. That's the way. Eggs Benedict. I can't think of anything worse than having a butter sauce over eggs with a hangover. But anyway, that's the correct answer. Alex, you're in control. What would you like?
Okay, so just to clarify, there's no buzzing. You just speak out the answer. Right?
Just holler.
All right, very good. Food and drink for 200.
Food and drink for 200. This dressing, commonly found on sandwiches, may derive its name from a seaport in Minorca. Sandwich dressing.
What is mayonnaise?
Alex, you're incredible. How did you get that? What would you like next?
All right, let's try food and drink for 300.
Food and drink for 300. Pancake mix whose name came from the title of a vaudeville song, not someone's relative.
What is Aunt Jemima's?
Aunt Jemima's is correct, with the all-new box, which is much more politically correct. Alex, what would you like?
All right, food and drink for 400.
Food and drink for 400. This extremely strong-smelling cheese was named for a province in Belgium. Stinky cheese. You can jump in, Richard, if you know.
I'm embarrassed. Bearing in mind I'm in France, I should know this. If I left in and said, what is provolone?
Okay.
I've got a feeling that's Italian.
Provolone, we'll give that a go. Alex, if you've got an answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I'm Stilton. What is What is blue? I guess let's say Stilton. Yeah,
okay,
that's not right. It's not right.
It's Limburger.
Oh, Limburger cheese.
Never. I don't think I've had that one. I don't know if I like a little tiny bit of blue cheese and the sticky cheeses, but not as much as my father-in-law. Alex, continue on.
All right, food and drink. Let's finish it off with
food and drink for 500. You can add your favorite fruit to this rum and lime cocktail named for a district in Cuba.
What is
What is a pina colada?
Pina colada. Now I'm just guessing here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm famous for giving people the wrong info. Daiquiri is the one we're looking for. Just proves that I don't know what the answers are, which is good. Alex, you're still in control.
All right, letter perfect for 100.
Letter perfect for 100. Let's find out what this is. As a prefix, this single letter can mean on, into, or without.
O? What is O?
A is the correct answer.
Okay.
Alex, you're still in control.
All right, letter perfect for 200.
Letter perfect for 200. For the Flying Fortress, this letter preceded...
What is B?
B? For the Super Fortress -29. Now, are these some sort of physics terminologies?
No, it's the bomber. B-17 bomber, Super Fortress B-29 bomber.
Well done, Alex. That was right up your alley. Did you know that one, Richard?
I did, although I'm going to obviously complain about the US bias in the questions.
And that's
although,
fair.
Having said that, I can't get a Belgian cheese, so I'll shut up.
Well, these are all actual Jeopardy questions that appeared on Jeopardy. That's so they are always going to have a little bit of a US bias. Alex, well done. You got the points, and you're in control still.
All right. Letter perfect for 300.
Letter perfect for 300. When this letter follows 100 degrees, it makes
What is C?
it
C.
the
What
boiling
is C?
point of water.
C. C. What is C?
C is correct. Well done, Alex. Particularly being a non-metric user. Good answer.
Thank you. 400. Letter perfect for 400.
Letter perfect 400. Single letter in the nickname of the second largest city in Texas. It's the first letter of a famous soapy from the 80s about Texas.
What is D? I'll say D.
D is correct for Dallas. Well done.
That was actually a guess because I didn't know.
Everything is
letter
aligning perfect, Alex. You're pulling answers out of who knows where, but you're getting them right.
Letter perfect for 500.
Letter perfect for 500. Letter that occurs most often in the phrase, an elephant never forgets. No penalty for wrong answers.
A P. I don't know.
Richard,
When
jump
is an E
in.
most popular? I'm going to go for when is an E? most
E
popular?
is the one we're looking for. Well done. Richard's on the board.
Well, I'm going to risk all sorts of terrible things happening by going for $100 on the occult.
The occult. Oh, goodness me. Grab your crucifixes. The practice of interpreting the influence of the stars and planets.
Astrology. What is astrology?
Astrology is correct. And I always get it mixed up with astronomy. Alex, you're back in control. What would you like?
All right, let's go. I'll go with Richard's the occult for 200.
Occult for 200. Occult communication device in use often in movies.
What is a pentagram? Pentagram. Pentacle?
It's a communication device used.
I will say, what is a Ouija board?
A Ouija board is the one we're looking for. Well done. Communication. Speak to the dead. Allegedly. What would you like?
The occult for 300.
The occult for 300. The first laboratory for the study of parapsychology was established in this North Carolina University in the 20s. I don't even know any
I'll
North.
say what is Chapel Hill?
Chapel Hill Duke.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if that's what they kind of based the Ghostbusters. You know, they were in the university doing parapsychology. Funny movie. Alex, you're still in control.
The occult for 400.
Occult for 400. The name of this daughter of King Priam is synonymous with a person whose prophecies go unheeded. That's pretty obscure. King Priam.
What is a prophet?
That's
What is
the
a
name.
prophet?
Cassandra.
Not who is Medusa. Cassandra.
Medusa. I remember Medusa from with the snake, the snakes.
boy.
And if you look at her, you turn to stone. They told me that in Catholic school, and I was like, wow, this book is incredible. Alex.
No, the occult for 500, please.
Occult for 500. The most famous one of these shrines in the ancient world was located on the slopes of Mount Parnassus. Ancient occult practices. I don't know where Mount Parnassus is. Is it in
I'll say what is the Oracle of Delphi?
Oracle of Delphi? The Oracle is correct. Well done, Alex. I thought that was software. Well done. Absolutely an expert on the occult
Yeah. Richard, where should we go?
Well, how about some nursery rhymes? I might get more luck with that.
Let's do that.
So we've got Little Red Riding Hood as a category and Rhyme Time, which are words that rhyme.
Oh, no, definitely Little Red Riding Hood.
All right. We'll go for a 100 on this one. The wolf's reply to what big eyes you have. When the was it the piggies? No, that's a different nursery rhyme. So Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf was dressed up as a grandmother, and she was a bit suspicious, and she said, "What big eyes you have!" And what did the wolf say?
All the better to see you with.
I think that's what.
Who said all the better to see you with?
That's what the wolf said. Let's take a look. All the better to see you with is correct. Here comes Richard.
Ooh. My childhood wasn't wasted. Well, let's go for the Red Riding Hood $200.
Little Red Riding Hood. This is the first person the wolf devours.
Ooh.
The only person other than Little Red Riding Hood in the story, I think.
Yes. So, is it What Happened to Grandma?
Grandma is devoured. Well done, Richard. This has proven to be your category.
Yeah, exactly. All those years at university were wasted. Let's stick with Red Riding Hood on 300.
Red Riding Hood. In a Disney cartoon, this trio warns Red about the big bad wolf. So they kind of deviated from the traditional nursery rhyme and incorporated another one. Which trio? Oh no, maybe I don't know if it was in the original.
Is it what did the three little pigs do? Who warned? Was it three little pigs?
I think it might have been another trio, not the pigs. But if it is the pigs, you'll get it. Can you think of another nursery rhyme trio, Alex?
No. No, I
Time's
can't,
up.
actually. I would have said the pigs.
It is the three little pigs. Well done, Richard. I thought it was the three blind mice. Well, Richard, I should not have questioned your expertise in Little Red Riding Hood. What would you like next?
While I'm on a roll, let's go for Little Red Riding Hood for 400.
400. In the German version, this character was added to save the day.
Is it the role of the lumberjack?
The lumberjack. Interesting. Let's take a look. The woodsman lumberjack is correct. Well done, Richard. What would you like? The last one?
Yeah, Full House. Let's go for it.
You're going to put this on your LinkedIn. Red Riding Hood expert.
Oh.
In the 1966 hit song that followed, Hey There, Little Red Riding Hood. So hang on, what are we looking for? What's the answer? In the 1966 hit song line that followed, Hey There, Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, it rings no bells for me, that one.
No. It's got to be good, I reckon.
Yeah.
Hey, you sure are looking good. Poor old Little Red Riding Hood. She's just escaped the wolf and she's getting hit on. What would you like, Richard?
I'm going to suggest $100 for West on the Map.
West
please.
on the Map. A Bremen town musician works in this country. Bremen or Bremen town musician works in this country, and it's something Western. It's a country with West in it. Now, there's only one that exists still to this day, country with West in it, that I know of. Here's a clue. Alex might not know this one, Richard will. They are a cricketing country.
West Indies.
West Indies. Oh. This,
Germany.
I'm going to give it to you because I think I've got questions from before the wall.
I was going to say it was Germany, but that's not a country anymore.
And I did say it doesn't exist now. So, yeah. I'm going to give it to you, though. I'll give it to you. All right, Richard.
Oh, still me. That's very kind of. Well, let's go for west on the map, 200 then.
West on the map, 200. Gaston Caperton is this state's governor, or was a West state in the United States.
I will go for West Virginia.
I reckon as well. In the South, it's got to be. West Virginia is correct. Well done, Richard.
Well done, Richard. America, yeah. Good.
I know. I'm staggered. Absolutely staggered. So while I'm on a roll, I will go for 300 on
West on the map, 300. Since 1967, Israel has occupied a controversial area on the West Bank
of the Jordan River. The Jordan Road is the Jordan River.
What? It says the West Bank of this river. Okay, because it says West in the question, they were letting it in this category. Jordan River. Let's take a look.
Jordan River
is correct. Well done, Alex. Back in control.
Let's do west of the map for 400, please.
West on the map, 400. Antigua, Santa Lucia, and Barbados are part of this archipelago. West Indies.
The British
we got there in the end. I thought that would be in there somewhere. Last question. We'll just do one more, and we'll wrap it up. What would you like, Richard?
Oh, let's go 500 on West on the
map. 500 West on the map. Buckingham Palace is in this borough of London.
I'm going to go Westminster.
West End. What's the West End?
Westminster.
Westminster is correct. Well done. Look at that. Richard, you've just won by 100 points in a flurry.
That's my A. That's what happens. That's my A. I put O instead of A.
That was incredible because you had a slow start and
I'm very slow.
And it was Little Red Riding Hood that just got you into gear, and you ended up pipping at the post. So Alex 2,600 and Richard finishing strong on 2,700. Or maybe I should have kept that one going to the end. Never mind. Great game, everyone. That was excellent.
Well done.
All right, now.
Thanks, Alex. I don't feel a worthy winner.
Because of that fantastic finish, Richard, tell us about realise.co.uk and all that you are involved in.
Fantastic. The elevator pitch then. So Realise is an event services company. Part of our role is probably the quite boring but essential part, that whenever you turn up at an event, you've registered in advance, you want your badge, you want the technology that's going to get you into the seminars, to know where you've been, to capture everything. So we spend our lives doing that with a wonderful team of people based around the world. And then because it's technology, I leave it to the bright youngsters, and I tend to sit back in my office trying to come up with great new ideas, initiatives, and things which we think might be interesting to help people exploit the wonderful world of events.
And I have foolishly tried to plan an event myself, and honestly, if you're thinking of doing it, don't. You need some help. It is way harder than you think to do by yourself, I'm saying. What are some of the problems that you take care of that, because if you're planning an event, you've got to, first of all, you've got to promote the event, you've got to get all of the speakers and everything organized and make sure they know what they're doing. Then all of these logistical, is it the logistical side of things that you take care of, Richard?
It is. It's more of the logistics that we will do, whilst hopefully providing a helping hand to the organisers. Because, as you rightly say, it is an incredibly stressful thing. In fact, event organising is listed as one of the most stressful jobs in the world, which I find quite surprising, because the secret is often just good planning.
Yeah.
I think often the tendency is that people fail to allow, firstly, long enough for all the things to take place, and they just assume that they'll come up with a great idea, tell people about it, and everyone's just going to rush to come to these things. But of course, we're all very busy people, we're inundated with information, so the truth is, if you have a brilliant idea for an event, you've got to keep telling people what a great idea it is, and then even when they've said they're going to come, you've got to keep reminding them what a great decision they've made, because we have this terrible issue in the world of events. Unless you've paid for it, 50% of people don't turn up. They said they were going to, and then they don't. It's a bit of a nightmare.
Yes, absolutely. And all of these things you've said actually come from experience, and you've done. How many events have you been involved in now?
Oh, I hate to think I started working in the world of events in the last millennium, and realized, it is fraught with so many things. But I mean, our team do about 400 events a year around the world.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about people's problems, we recognize, we sympathize. It's because we've seen so much of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you won't know the problems, and you won't know what to do unless you've got somebody who has that kind of experience. You can't get that experience yourself. So I would definitely, this is one of those things where I love doing everything myself, and this is one of those things where I would handball the ball to somebody to do, because it's just it's going to be much better, and you're going to be a much better host if you have this type of stuff taken care of. Now, you mentioned free versus paid. That's always something that I wonder about. Is there a preference, do you think, for hosting a good event?
One of the things I would recommend is that it's always worth charging people for an event, because that's how you create value. If you offer a free event, then that people don't perceive the value. It's very easy to sign up, and then they don't show. Of course, some industries find it very hard, and they say, well, I could never charge my clients or my prospects for this kind of thing. But one of my colleagues, a lovely American lady, was talking on this very matter. And you'll notice there's a growing trend for what you call, and I'm stealing the term, flake fees, which is, if you say you're going to come to this event, and if you don't show up, we're going to charge you. Because the same thing happens now. You've seen at restaurants and maybe hairdressers, not that I have much need for a hairdresser, but you'll notice professionals now say, I'm providing a service. If you book my time and you don't show, I'm entitled to charge you for it. And I'd like to see that happen much more at events. So even if the event is free, what you do is you say, there is a flake fee. Give us your credit card details. And if we don't see you and you haven't got a great reason, there's going to be a bill coming your way. And that's how people take the event more seriously.
That's a great idea. And you just basically take their credit card details, and you don't... Do you actually charge them if they don't turn up?
If they don't turn up, they are charged. For example, there are some very successful events for the events industry, and this trend is being copied quite a lot, which is to have a hosted buyer. So I invite you to my event, I pay for your flight, I pay for your hotel, but then you're expected to have appointments, maybe with half a dozen of my exhibitors and sponsors. And then we keep a very close track of whether you actually do turn up, or you just use the flight and the hotel and then sneak off to the shops, in which case we will charge you. And a lot of the organizers, they're quite brutal about it, because that's how you get taken seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And what percentage of in-person events do you do versus virtual events?
Well, you can imagine when the pandemic hit, everything pivoted to being online. And it was quite interesting, the number of people who said, well, this is the future. We're going to be doing only online events. And then the reality happened. COVID, fortunately, dissipated, and the pendulum swung the other way. And there was a massive, massive move to online events. And interestingly enough, some, in theory, very, very wise investors had put a huge amount of money into new virtual platforms, which had pretty much died a death. Because at the end of the day, we like to be able to see people, face to face, shake them by the hand. This kind of event is wonderful, but I'd much rather be in a studio with you guys and able to toast Alex to the fact that I just beat him at the last minute. That would be great. So I would say what we're seeing is where people thought there might be like 50-50 post-pandemic, I'd say 90% of our events are now back to face-to-face. What you do notice is that companies have learned a valuable lesson, which is to capture a lot of that content and make it available afterwards for people. Yeah,
that's the thing. And the perception of value is so much greater with an in-person event that I was kind of hoping online events was going to be the way of the future, being a bit of an introvert. But really, there nothing beats when you come back from an event. You feel like something's happened. You've met people. You've done something, and so you're likely to feel that was worth worth it. So the perception of value is a big one there. That's awesome. And just on promoting events, you mentioned it a bit. What is the key for the successful events that you've been a part of in terms of promoting them?
I think there are many, many secrets. I'll give you one which I think is the biggest, which is when you look at how companies promote the event, what they'll often do is they'll have photographs of the speakers, and then they'll list who the speakers are. And they'll say things like, here's Richard, and he's been in the world of events since the 18th century, and he's worked for this company and that company and that company and that company. And it's all really boring, because the focus should always be on the delegate. And what you've probably heard people talk about, the Whiffam factor. What's in it for me? If you come to this event, this is what you're going to learn. This is what you're going to get. This is who you'll meet. This is what they're going to teach you. This is the problems that you're going to solve. It is an investment to come to an event, even if it's free. There's time and there's travel and all the rest of it. But if you make the commitment, this is what you are going to get. And we stake our reputation on that. And I think ultimately we have to always think about it's the delegate.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's you've got to have some sizzle to it, where the people are excited and they're going to learn something crucial. They're going to get something. Sell the sizzle before the steak, and then you give them the steak after. So that's great. All right, now what types of companies work with you, Richard? Mostly.
Oh, to be honest, we work with so many companies, and I will come back from an event. I'll be talking to my partner, and she'll go, how was the event? And I'll go, oh, it was great. And she'll go, nice venue? Yeah, it was lovely. I've just come back from Monte Carlo. And what was the conference? And I've got, no idea, absolutely no idea, because, I'm not an expert in these things. And to your point, when you say, it's hard organizing an event, leave it to the experts. What I'd say to people is that you're the experts in, I don't know, medicine or life science or technology or whatever. We're just the events people. And we will do the infrastructure and make everything work for you. So I often come back from events that have gone really well and actually, in all honesty, have no idea what they were about. I hope that doesn't make me a terrible person.
No, that happens to me regularly with everything. Now, are you mostly working with people in Europe or UK?
Our team is all over the world. So we do have people on both sides of the US, in Australia, in the Middle East, and of course across Europe. So we are global.
Well, that's very, very interesting. So if you are out there and you have either tried to run an event before, firstly, running events is a hugely beneficial. We probably should have mentioned that. Why should people run events? What are the benefits?
Well, one of the companies we work for is, I'm going to mention their name, Informa. So they are the world's biggest organizer of events, and a lot of people don't know who they are, because you turn up at one of their events and it's branded life science or whatever. You don't necessarily see their name. So organizing events is very, very lucrative and very, very successful. So that's for the organizer. For the companies that turn up, for me, for example, if you exhibit, the biggest benefit of an exhibition is that all the people walking past your stand are the people you can never normally get to. No one answers their phone now, and if you do try and get hold of people, you get out of office. And there they are, drifting past your stand like wildebeest on the way to the river, just waiting for you to go and grab them. Nothing beats that opportunity. There's no barriers. It's just get off your stand, just get out of your comfort zone. Or if you're at a conference, just talk to the person next to you. Go up to someone who's looking a bit forlorn at the coffee station. Have a conversation. All the things that we can't do when we're stuck behind our desks.
Yeah, instant relationships if you just talk to them. Well, that's great. And as I was going to say, if you are looking to plan an event and you want it to be a success, then have a chat to Richard and his team at realise.co.uk and just see what's possible with somebody who's done hundreds and hundreds of events. Thank you very much, Richard.
Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, now let's pop over to Alex. Now, Alex, the king of conflict. How did you get into this? Did you have a lot of conflict in your life?
So a little bit, because I'm a kind of a third culture kid and a kid of immigrants. I came to the United States and I didn't really know how to behave, get along, and I just didn't know anything about the country really. So in my family system, I was called Mr. Y because I asked a lot of questions. But when I came to the United States, it wasn't a compliment, by the way, in my family system. They would rather I didn't. But when I came to the United States, I didn't know how to ask those questions because I didn't speak the language. So I really started to pay attention to how some people get along and how some people don't. And that led me to have an interest in negotiations. Then I did some work in human resources, became a mediator, and then eventually got into the niche of conflict resolution through my mediation work.
Yeah, it's touching a few areas there. Negotiation, it all is interrelated. Do you have a book that you've read that kind of sums this up perfectly, or got you interested in this? Or I've just got a book in mind. Is there any good books on the topic?
So yes, there are good books on the topic, and I'm actually writing one at the moment. One of them is Chris Voss's Never Split the Difference. That's a popular book. He's a hostage negotiator. But the one that interested me is not actually a book, but a set of tapes. I saw somewhere, and I'm dating myself, but I saw somewhere a catalog of different courses, and one of them was a course on the secrets of power negotiation by Roger Dawson. And so I ordered that book, and it's a giant plastic binder with audio tapes, those cassette tapes that I popped in, and I listened to every word. And he was talking about some very practical gambits of negotiating, like being good guy, bad guy. So if you say, I'll charge you $100, and he would say, oh, I don't know, I have to ask my partner, or I have to ask my spouse, as a way of negotiating the price. And I thought that was fascinating, and so that is what initially launched me into this field.
Yeah, I love some of the old stuff like that you find, and the real practical things that help you, as opposed to the kind of general self-help visualize and all that. So I don't like any of that. But the conflict resolution stuff is real practical information. A good book that I love is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a great one as well. And this is a really key skill. I mean, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, negotiation. I mean, in so many aspects of your life, if you ever have to sell things to people, if you're in personal relationships, network building, all of that stuff, and maybe managing staff, dealing with conflict amongst employees. Is there a particular area that you see the most work from, Alex?
So I see work from two different sources. One is coaching, when clients ask me to work with executives who are very analytical and very smart in their own right, and they're experts in their field, but they don't have good leadership skills. And they've never been taught how to speak to people effectively, how to encourage people, how to inspire people. And so I work with them at various stages of their development. And then the other source of work comes from cleaning up messes. When people have arguments and can't work together effectively, and then they call me in as sort of a last-ditch effort to try and save the day.
Yeah, very, very interesting. And I identify with the, there are certain people that are kind of brilliant in certain fields, and they just really lack the, like you said, the ability to lead people, the ability to convey a message to somebody in a way that won't make the person pissed off. It's all that emotional intelligence stuff. And I know some really incredibly smart people who they really want to find out about this. It's like this thing they've been missing. And do you find those people really receptive to what you're teaching?
Absolutely. I find those people receptive. And I also find people receptive who have no familiarity with it, but who are in pain because it's affecting them negatively. Either they're not getting along with someone, or their boss is telling them that there's a problem and they won't last in the role unless they change their ways, those people sometimes are quite motivated to learn. And so I like working with them as well.
Life's so much better when you resolve conflict and you don't have that agita all the time. Some people have a lot of conflict, and things can be a lot more smoother if you can increase your skills. And if somebody wants to start to work on this, what's the first step to working with you, Alex?
It would be probably reaching out on my website. You kindly put it up. It's conflictyes.com, and they can reach me there, and I usually respond pretty quickly to messages.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Alex Yaroslavsky, conflictyes.com. Have a chat to Alex. I've also got his LinkedIn in the show notes if you want to get into contact with him. Thank you very much, Alex. And also Richard John. Wonderful. I'm going to wrap things up now. Thanks for listening and watching. Thanks to our wonderful guests. See you next time. Bye.